Hi folks, it's Saturday, it's in the morning, it's time for Samoflange. Let's do this. I am still on my own. I did reach out to Mikey, but he is MIA. Not even responding back. So that's okay. That's okay. Because looking over the list, I got a few more adventures left. I got a few of these. Some I had to throw away. They just weren't relevant, I think, anymore. Some of them I think I did a long time ago. I just can't remember. I shifted through a few of these. None of these can hold up on their own, and that's exactly why they're in the book. When I do when I do these top fives, I think of them and I think, could I make that a full episode? I don't know. So it goes in the book. Some of them get pulled out and make full episodes. Some do not. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these left. Well, that I could glean through. I could maybe find a few more. I think I know where some more are later on, but they may be repeats too. But up in this area here, where I keep a few of them, I found 8 of these. Probably thinking maybe 4 this week, 4 the next week, split it up that way, and then see if I have other ones. I do have other ideas. Let me be clear on that. I got some gold. I would say gold. Ones I think would make good full episodes that I've kept away. I could split those up too. So I mean, I got plenty. Man, we don't get the top 5 lists are never ending, it seems, for Saturday morning Samoflange. And we don't always have to do top 5s. I have tried to get special guest stars on here. There's a few people. One is I think I've mentioned this before. He can come on here or Prince of the Universe. I don't care. But I've got to get his story. He does not want to give me his story, or he wants to be anonymous during it all, because he hilariously took it to a big corporation and forced their politically correctness on top of them and made them look silly. Got a big payday out of it, and probably doesn't want to reveal all the. And I get that too, because he could, I guess, still be sued, even though technically the company that he worked for no longer exists. But it's a funny, great story, and I wish I could have him on. But he is a little shy of delivering that story. It's too bad, because he's a good friend too. But that's okay. That's okay. I understand how it goes. And then there's another one that I have been trying to get in for over a year. He's in college now. Old friend of mine. Knew him when he was in high school. He's a good guy. Came over a lot. And now he does not come in the summer. Second summer in a row, I've texted him and said if he's in, and he comes in to visit his family every once in a while, but he used to see me. I think the first semester, this is his junior year now, his very first semester, he came and saw me before he even saw his parents. So we used to be close, but now he'll go see his parents real quick and then run back down. I think he has a girlfriend now, and he works down in the college he goes to, so he has told me again that he will not be in. So that's a shame, because I really like to have him on. I had 1 or 2 topics we were going to laugh about together, but and then a few other people that I just haven't gotten a hold of. So on me on that. Will I get a permanent co-host? Possibly. Few ideas, a few old. I'm trying to ask some of the old co-hosts like Mikey, like CJ. If you want to know what CJ's up to, man, CJ happens to have a new kid every 2 years. I'm not kidding. For the past 6 years, it's been like this. He always has a new kid. So the past 6 years, he's been out. Which is why we haven't seen him much at all. He'll come every once in a while here and there, but he's just got such a busy schedule that super hard. And I get it. I'm the same way. I'm landlocked to my house here every night because I can't go out that much. I've been Wes from Saturday Morning Samoflange has invited me over to go to his place. He's got these arcade games. I really want to go. When am I going to? I'm watching the kids by myself every night, just about. So, just kind of stuck at the house for right now. So I understand why CJ can't do it. And then for other older hosts, of course, the missus will never be on this again, unless maybe there's a decent topic. But she did fill in for 1 year, and she did mean it. That was her last. And she's come back, guest starring here and there every once in a while, but is not going to return as a permanent co-host. And Stepdaddy, who I had for a very brief time and loved, moved away. So all the previous hosts I've had, and Benjamin will be coming back, possibly in the next week or so, 2 weeks or so. I can't remember. I am going to have him back, and then he's going to tell me his final decision on if he is staying or going. I don't know where he hasn't really talked to me either way on it, but it seemed like he was going. moving to Australia full-time? If so, he's gone as a co-host. He'll come back, I'm sure, for a little while he's here, but he's also making the final decision to move over there permanently by the fall. So I may have him back a little bit this summer too, which will be fun. It'll be fun. We'll do a farewell podcast if it's truly going to be one of his last. But anyway, enough of all the hubbub. Let's get to some of my top fives here. Folks, my first top five is sicknesses. Now, when I wrote this, I had a different top five, and I had to rearrange it because I didn't agree with the one that I wrote down. Not only do I write down topics, but I also write down my top five. And sometimes that top five does change. In fact, in all of these, I think all of these changed. All of these changed. Some of them were switched out. Some of them were completely dropped off. Some I put in new ones. And this is the top five ailments, sicknesses, if you will, that I hate getting. That I hate. No one likes being sick, right? No one likes it. But what are the worst? What are the absolute worst? Well, my number five is a headache. My mom usually used to suffer, I don't know if she still does, from bad migraines. I do not, thankfully, but every once in a while, man, you get that migraine, it is killer on you. You are just hurting, you're in pain, you want quiet, which you do not get in my house. You never get quiet in my house. But it is just knock a hammer to your face and knock me out, right? I just don't want to wake up again. A headache's always bad. But it's only number five here because number four is even worse, the flu. No one likes it in the flu. No one likes it. I hate it because, I know I got to wait it out for 48 hours or whatnot. But I just hate feeling bad and feeling sick to my stomach. Thankfully, I rarely get the flu. Usually this is, I can't remember the last time I got it. It's been a while since I've been sick to my stomach or whatnot. And when the flu season comes around, I don't get the flu shot. I just happen to avoid the flu. I don't know. But very rarely do I get the flu, so that's why it's number four. Number three used to be my number one, but then I realized I rarely get it anymore. And it's a sore throat. Boy, do I hate a sore throat. Oh, every time you swallow it hurts. But with lozenges, with hot tea, with other, I bring out the mister and stuff. It's really not been that big of a problem for me. And I don't have a sore throat for that long. And sore throats are bothersome. They are terrible, but nothing compared to the first two. And I did get sick over the summer. Winter, and these definitely rose to the top for me. Number two is a cold. It sucks having a cold. You can't breathe, but at night, it is horrendous. It is horrendous. I got those, I don't know what it's called. It's nasal vapor things that clear out your nasals, and it'll work, but then just a few minutes later when I'm laying down trying to breathe, I can't breathe again. Both of my nostrils get stuck up because it's bad. It is so bad. I should have put sinuses in here, so I kind of guess I'll put sinuses with a cold because it's just terrible. Now I don't suffer as bad with sinuses, taking Claritin every day, but still, it's rough. I'm still not getting over the grass cuttings I did the first month in April. I'm still not over that. It's May or end of May now. So it's still bad for me. But a cold is terrible because I hate not being able to breathe, being stuffed up, having to breathe through your mouth. And just feeling blah. And everyone knows that feeling, too. I think when I originally ranked this, colds were lower down. I'm thinking, what was I thinking? Because I hate not being able to breathe. I hate it. I stay in the shower a lot, hot shower, try to breathe. I'd turn on the mister, which does help a little bit. It does help me breathe. The humidifier helps me breathe a little bit better. But goodness gracious, do I hate every minute of it. You're just going through boxes of Kleenexes. Boxes of them. It's ridiculous. So everything about having a cold is just terrible. You wake up, stuffed head. Nothing good about this. And then the last one is the one I have a nagging cough right now. Coughs are my number one now. They used to be number two. Now they're number one by far. Rather have a cold, rather have a sore throat. If it doesn't end in a cough, I'm fine. Like I do have this nagging one now. I despise it. I despise coughs because, of course, my work, I have to speak a lot, and a cough is so interruptive, and it still happens. It's still nagging me after a month now. And I hate everything about them. I hate coughs. Cough drops do not help. I'm constantly sucking on cough drops, but if I talk, it's over. You can't laugh at all, hard to talk. And I just hate it. And when you can't stop, it's even worse. You know, again, another reason for me to drink hot tea, but at the same time, I could drink hot tea and enjoy it without having a cough. But the cough is the number one. If I had to choose having a cold every couple of days or having a cough for one day, it's a cold for 2 days, because I do not like coughing at all. Despise it. Number one. Number one. You can also let me know your number one ailments or sicknesses you hate having as well in the comments below. Yada, yada, yada. Let's go on to top 5, numero 2. And I want to say, I looked all over at my past episodes. I want to say I did this one with the misses, but I don't see it. It was top 5 states I love in the U.S. Now, if I did, someone can remind me in the comments which episode it was, but I looked through them on the year that the missus was my co-host. Now, it could have happened when she came in for a special guest. Now that I'm thinking about it, it probably did. I don't know. But I can't remember. We may have said cities, but I think it was places we'd like to go to. But top 5 states for me. And this one would not be fun, I guess, unless it was with the missus or whatnot. But I looked at my top 5 states, and it did change up slightly. One that wasn't in the running that is now. My friends will be happy to hear this. Some of my friends will, but Arizona. I love Arizona. I think it's great. You know, I have a lot of friends there, a lot of good friends there. I had 2 gang groups there that I miss explicitly, especially nowadays when I don't hardly have anyone to play with every week. But they were great guys. Arizona's hot. I get it, but I didn't mind it. Plus, that's the only other place out of all these towns I really could just go to and have a billion friends, I feel like. Even people who I work with in Phoenix, I'm friends with, but also those former employees I'm still friends with and would still hang out with if I went over there. In fact, that's the number one place I wish my work would send me back to, even though that's never going to happen now. They are done paying us for travel now. Everything's virtual now. They're on to virtual because it's cheaper. It's not better for the employee. It's not a good look for who I work for, but, you know, because you want that face-to-face personal stuff, but nope, it's always cheaper. So now travel is 100% off the board now. It's sad because I'll probably never get to go back out there again unless I make a personal trip, which I don't think I ever would with all my kids. It would never happen. We'd never survive a road trip or a plane trip like that. So it might not happen ever again. That's sad because I do miss all my Phoenix friends, and I do love the state. Now, what state did it bump out? Another great state, Tennessee. I love Tennessee. Really great state. I do have friends scattered out through Tennessee. That'd be a fun place. But I did realize that Arizona took that number one spot now and has stayed on it because I even like the local gaming store there. And the restaurants there are cool. And I mean, honestly, if I did not have my family here, it'd be one of the states I'd love to live at. It'd be pretty high. Maybe the second state I'd want to move to if I did not have, because it's the one I have the most friends at. But why is it number 5, Matt? Well, because it's number 5. 4, oh boy, controversy here at 4. But where I live, Louisiana. I like Louisiana. I'm fine with Louisiana. I have no problem with Louisiana. Matt, aren't there a billion other better states? Yeah, but Louisiana's not so bad. You know, like the crawfish season. People here are pretty nice. I pretty much get along with everyone. I think they're very friendly. A lot of fun things to do here. Of course, families here, and I love that. I don't know. The state's not that bad. Does it need help? Yes, it does. It got like second most crime-ridden state in America, right underneath New Mexico. What the heck is going on in New Mexico? But we have some of the most dangerous cities. Of course, New Orleans has more crime than most big cities. It's crime infested, and where I live is also, I think it's number 3 now. We used to be number 1, most crime per capita, and now we're like number 3 or number 5. We're moving down in the ranks, but we're still top up there. It's basically break-ins and little muggings, shootings, but that always happens on one side of Monroe, the south side and stuff. I mean, it does happen on the other side of Monroe too. And we had an indoor garage when we lived there. We live in the town next to it, which is not bad. Actually, the town I live in got voted one of the best southern towns in America. It was number 5. So every billboard around here says, top 5 towns, best southern towns in America. Yeah, we're number 5. But anyway, that's really good. And it's right next to the almost number 1 crime per capita. That's so weird, right? But there's a lot of big differences from here and there. But when I lived in the other town, I did not feel threatened at all. I felt fine. I walked around at night. I felt safe. Of course, I'm a guy. I can say that. But I never really worried. When I saw a conspicuous person walking next to me, I never thought this person's going to mug me. I never thought like that. My brother had his house broken into once. We never had that issue. Every once in a while, they would smash car windows where I live. That's because of this. There's a Section 8 apartment building that was catty-cornered away from us, and someone in there was the one that they caught them finally, but they were the ones breaking into cars every, 2 or 3 years. Once every 2 or 3 years, they break into cars, and then the cops finally caught them. But they never broke into our cars because we had enclosed garages, so we were fine. My mother-in-law, when we went away for a week, she left her car in the parking lot, and of course it got in our driveway, and of course it got smashed in because it just happened to be one of those times where they'd smash the car window and see what they could get in it. But that's about the worst we had. And I had my bike stolen as a kid, which really sucked. I didn't like that at all. Didn't like my bike being stolen. But that was the only victim crime I had. Other than that, everything was pretty... no, I think I had a weed eater stolen once. It was weird, too, because I was mowing the grass. I think someone just came in, grabbed my weed eater, and left, because my weed eater was right there, and then it was gone. So maybe I did have a weed eater stolen. Man, I was so mad. Someone on a bike must have seen it and knew I was in the backyard and just biked on in there, grabbed it, and ran off. So, sucks to be me. But other than that, like a little bit of petty theft and stuff like that. Still not a good look, but oh well. Overall, I do enjoy Louisiana, my number 4. Number 3, state that I really enjoy. I really like Florida, man. I have a few friends in Florida. There's a few towns I could live in. Pensacola, I have 2, 3 friends there that I could hang out with, talk, and enjoy. One of them was one of the first subscribers to my YouTube channel. He's a good guy. Another one is another YouTuber that's out there. 2 YouTubers that are out there. I don't know one of them personally. Like, he knows me and I know him. We're cordial. Maybe one day if I was down there, I could meet up with him. I'm sure he'd meet up with me. The other YouTuber I meet, I go down and see all the time. And then there's another old friend of ours who used to be our neighbor here in Louisiana, but now she moved. Basically, she has moved down there. She owns several rent houses in Pensacola, makes buku money because she owns a lot of real estate down there. And she just moves from house to house. Whatever house isn't rented out, she'll move. So in the summer, she's up here in Louisiana a lot because she has all of her houses rented out. But whenever one of her houses aren't rented out, that's where she's staying, in Pensacola. A lot of nice real estate, a lot of beautiful houses she has there. But Florida's a nice little place there. For a very brief moment, I did look into getting a job it was on the tip panhandle of Pensacola. I can't remember what town it was. It wasn't Floribama, but someplace like that. And I was going to live with my grandparents back in the day, who lived around Mobile, Alabama. And I was just going to commute. And I remember it was like a 45-minute trip or an hour trip in and out. I was like, that's not bad. I'll do that. If that's where I got to work, then I get free room and board, because that's when my grandfather was. He had just gotten some eye surgery, was failing health, but wasn't in bad shape. But he didn't like doing his exercises, like walking around in the pool. He hated that. He thought it was stupid. But when I did it with him, he would join me just for fun. But he'd be in a better mood when I was around. And my grandmother would, she was all for me staying there. My dad said I could go, but I had to mow the grass, clean up, do some work around the house. And I couldn't just freeload. And that's the proper thing. If I'm there, then I need to work for my room and board. And I was like, absolutely, I'd love to do that. So I was digging, spending more time with the grandparents and everything. And let me see, I applied for 2 jobs. One in that hometown. They lived in Daphne, Alabama. I applied for an appraiser because I was working for appraisers at the time. I thought, oh, cool, I can get that job. But the guy did not want to hire me. He did not know me. I find in the appraisal, you have to know these people. You have to be best friends with these people. And even then, you may not get the in with that. So even though my aunt was his neighbor and she talked me up and got me the interview, I could tell immediately he just did not want me to do it. He had it planned for someone else. He wanted to go somewhere else. He didn't want to go to me, even though I had experience, a little bit of experience working with appraisers. And then the second place that I applied for was around Pensacola. Well, it's outside Pensacola, one of those little small towns outside of Florida. I can't remember what it was for now that I think about it. I don't know if it was another appraisal job or something, but I thought for sure I had that job, and they never made an offer, and I was so upset. So then I eventually just got an offer here and stayed here, but for a very short time would have moved. And I was digging the Florida scene. I was like, hey, you know what? I may eventually move down to Florida too. Move away from when I move out of my grandparents' house, move to Florida. But that's when I started working for the bank. I think early 2000s. 2001, 2000, whatnot. Got that job and then didn't look back, or maybe it was the credit union. I can't remember where it was back then, but I got some job. All right. Anyway, so that's Florida. Number 2, I've kind of already ruined this one, but Alabama. Love me some Alabama, man. Of course, both my grandparents were from Alabama. Both my parents lived in Alabama at one time. I've been around Alabama. I dig the Mobile area. I mean, I know my aunts were still wishing that I would move over there. Most of my cousins are gone. I think I got two cousins still living there. And, I love them. I love my cousins. I get to see them every time we go down to the beach. We kind of meet up because we're all taking vacation down there. Even the ones who don't live there usually come down in the summer, and we try to meet up there, and it's good to catch up with them. I'm way older than them. Like the youngest is 20-something now. Dalton's 23, 24. So, I mean, I've got them by, I was already mainly out of college while the time most of them were kids. So they're a good 20 years younger than me, or, 15, depending on the oldest one's probably 15 years. I'm older than that one. But either way, though, we're all adults now. Now all of them are married. When Dalton was the youngest one of us, and he finally got married, at a young age, got married last year, and that was it. That was the last time all the cousins were together. And I knew that was going to be the last time. I even said that. I said, how? They were so happy that I came. And I was like, yeah, well, this is the last time all the cousins will be together. And it was. After my grandmother passed away, that was it, for the funeral. I don't think everyone was down there for the funeral, in fact. So that wedding was, I knew, the last hurrah for everyone. And it was nice to see everyone. Now, I may see them again individually, and I hope I do. But, moving down to Mobile, back in the day, I did have a few friends down there. Bruce from Princeton University used to live down there too. And that was another time I was thinking, oh, wow, so I can live with my grandparents, hang out with Bruce. I had all my whole plan. Bruce had just gotten married a few years earlier, and then they'd moved to Mobile. And I was like, this is perfect, because I was down there anyway. I had some other friends down there for a short time. So, and I like the Bay Area down there. I think it's really cool, laid back, a lot of job opportunities there. I could have gotten to work a few other places, maybe. I'm sure my uncles, maybe, if I would have wanted to work at one of their big factories. I didn't want to do that, but they might have got me work. Either way, who knows what my life would have been, but I almost would have been an Alabama resident, which would have been neat. But my number one, by far, is Mississippi. Whenever I get to, I grew up in Mississippi, Forest, Mississippi, 45 minutes east of Jackson, right there on I-20, and it just feels like home. Every time I make it over the bridge and hit Vicksburg, it just feels good. I feel happy. I feel at home. Like this is, as Brer Rabbit loves his briar patch, I love my Mississippi. When I get in there, I just love it. Everything feels like home. Everyone's super nice. Jackson has gone down over the years as a city goes, but the people are still nice. I would not want to live in Jackson probably, even though I do have friends around Jackson, a few friends so I could probably connect with again. I haven't seen them in years, but back in the day I used to go travel over to Jackson quite frequently to go to birthday parties with them and stuff. But as we kind of got older, got married, separated, we stopped doing that. And I know if I called them, they would pick up the phone. But Forest, Mississippi, I hardly know anyone there now. There's not that many people living there now. Everyone's gone. All my friends are basically gone, or the friends I used to keep up with. But even that place, I still look at houses in Forest, Mississippi every once in a while and dream about, moving back. But that town has changed 100% since I've been gone. But the thing is, I like the areas of Mississippi. There's a lot of little places in Mississippi that I just think are quaint and fun. And, like I said, it's a nice little sleepy town. It's a laid-back state. And I am biased because I am from Mississippi, but I feel that, it just feels like home. Like I said, just feels like home. So I love it there. If my workplace had a spot available, they don't have locations in Alabama really, but Mississippi, if they ever did open up something that would appease me, I mean, that would be a place I'd probably move to. I'm trying to think of other places that I'd put on here, like honorable mentions, but I don't really have any. I've been to several states. There's certain states I have not ever been to. Maybe I should do that. Top 5 states I'd love to visit. I don't know what those would be right now, but I'd love to see every state. To be honest. It'd be a lot of fun. But I know I wouldn't want to live up north because I hate the snow and I hate cold weather. So it'd have to be further down south, the better. But yeah, those are my top 5 states. Let me know what yours is. Is it your home state or is it a new one? And then finally, the last one. I'm only doing 3 now, which means I'm gifting a 5th one for next week's Samoflange. Top 5 Little Debbies. And yes, I do think about this. When I go to Walmart sometimes, I will buy a little box of Debbies now, and those will be my desserts for the next 2 days. I'll grab a few for lunch and grab a few for the ones I like the best come in like a 6-pack, so that's 3 a day. I don't do it that often. Right now, the past 2 weeks, I've just bought one and lived off it for 2 days. I'm fine for a while. I may not always do it, but I thought, why not treat myself with a Little Debbie box of Little Debbies? And then I started thinking, because me and my family ranked Little Debbies a few summer vacations ago, and I looked up my list, and my list has greatly changed since then, because one of my favorite, the caramel cookie bar, does not exist anymore. That was my number 2. I love the caramel cookie bar, and they got rid of it and broke my heart because I love that. It was seriously my number 2. So, but I did reshuffle everything because my number 5 is now my number 1, oddly enough. But my new number 5 was one that wasn't on the list before, and I totally forgot about it until I was looking over Little Debbie's, but a Cosmic Brownie. My mom buys these a lot for my kids. When my kids don't finish them, which the little one, he just picks off the little candies off them, takes a few bites of brownie and leaves it. And so I'll just, throw down the brownie, and those brownies are really tasty. And I remember getting these every once in a while. So they're good. I don't order them. I don't buy them. Like I said, I only eat them when my mom gives them to my little boy or girl, and they don't eat them all. But the ones I've had, pretty good. Number 4 is probably everyone's number 1, that oatmeal cream pie. Yes, it is delish. I agree with you. It's so fantastic. It ranked a lot higher on my old list. It used to be number 2. Now it's number 4 now. When my mom gets these, they go pretty fast because everyone in the house loves oatmeal cookies. But I'll get oatmeal cream pies, excuse me. And I'll probably snag one, eat it, and I'm good. I'm good for a while. I'll never buy a box of them, I think, because I don't think I could eat a whole box. I can just eat one and be good for a while. Last time I was at Mikey's house, he had the big giant oatmeal cookies, and I tasted one. That was in March. I'm good for a while. Never crave one, but if one pops up, yeah, I'll take it. And they are tasty. But I don't think I could ever eat a box, which is why it's number 4. Number 3 is very good. I just had one this past week. Someone bought some, and I was like, oh, shut up, I haven't had those in years. And they used to be my number 1, but Star Crunch. Star Crunches are good, man. They're good, like these chocolatey Rice Krispie treats and stuff. And I've enjoyed them. I tasted one, but again, I'm like, I will always get one if someone has one available, but I don't know if I'll buy a box. I don't know if I'd buy a box of these, which is why it got regulated to number 3. Number 2 moved up, man. It was number 4. I love me some zebra cakes. I almost got zebra cakes my last time. I have gotten a zebra cake before. It's not my number 1. My number 1 is the one I get all the time. But number 2, zebra cakes. And, of course, they're Christmas tree cakes. They're egg cakes. They're Valentine's cakes, whatever. I don't care. The plain Jane zebra cake is fine with me. Tastes the same as a Christmas cake. Yes, it does. Go ahead and hate. But zebra cakes are pretty good. And number 1, donut sticks. Holy crow. They were my number 5, and I love them. I get them all the time now. That's the number 1 thing I'll mainly get is a donut stick. I've always loved them as a kid. I thought they're some of the best stuff, and now I love them even more. I mean, they're just right. I just like the donut taste. It's like a cake donut, and I love a cake donut. So there you go. Top 5 Little Debbies. Hey, folks, let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite Little Debbie? And I'll see you next time on Saturday Morning Samoflange.